episode of Field Talk. My name is Mario. We have Sal, Field Talk Just. Let's get ready to talk. Today we're going to have Premier League Match Day 1 and 2 predictions of the league, Player of the Year, so on and so forth, Golden Boot, all that good stuff, and VAR. Is it an issue or is it just that new handball rule? Let's get rolling. All right, guys. So how's everybody doing?
Good.
Let's do this. All right, so we started a little bit late. You guys are gonna have to bear with us. This is a new thing. So first a week, we're gonna talk about Liverpool, Man City, Man U, Arsenal, Tottenham, and am I missing one?
Nope.
No, not really.
Top six.
Right. So what do we think about match day 1?
Match day 1. Who are we talking about?
Let's go with the guys
Norwich.
that open up the league. Let's go with Liverpool and Norwich.
Liverpool, Norwich. I actually liked how Norwich approached this game. Like, they didn't sit back and, you think that it's Norwich, they're going to sit back and try to catch Liverpool on the break. They actually went at Liverpool, which is pretty awesome. I mean, they paid for it, 4-1. They paid for it. But I actually like how they came out. Norwich has 2 fullbacks. They're young fullbacks, Max Aarons, Jamal Lewis. Those kids could play, man. And I think if they continue to play that type of football, it's either going to go one way. They're either going to get relegated early or they're going to stay up. Liverpool looks like they're hitting. They don't look as crisp, I would say, as they've, the first 2 weeks, they don't look as solid as they had last season. But again, Sadio Mane is on fire right now. So,
then again, it was just the first week, so we got a long way to go.
Right.
We're looking at a tired Liverpool. How many of their players were out during the summer, really still playing?
That's true. That's
so true. They had a Super Cup too.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah.
Super Cup.
I don't see them dropping more points than they should. But then again, who knows, really?
Yeah, I mean,
front 3 still keep going. That's,
right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, Mane looks like he's up for it. I know he had Cup of Nations, African Cup of Nations, so he came back a little late, but he looks the last couple of games in our Super Cup and against who did they play this week? Southampton. Yeah, Mane looks like he's up for it, which as a Man United fan makes me sick, but we won't get into that. Whatever. Anyways.
Not to knock Norwich, but you gotta think of it. Norwich just came back from second division. They're kind of the weaker team. Didn't really make any moves in the transfer season. They kind of just stuck with the guys they had that brought them back to the Premier League. And you're going against a full-studded Liverpool that just won the Champions League and almost clinched, the Premier League title last year. So I didn't really see them getting anything out of the game. It's cool that they got a goal. And that's probably all I expected from them. I thought Liverpool was going to run away with it.
I really thought it would have been more closer. I thought Norwich really had more chances going forward, but then after about 20-25 minutes, that was it.
It was over.
Get anything else?
They're finished. They're so wasteful in front of that goal, man. Wasteful.
Man. So far, Liverpool.
But to be fair to Norwich, I mean, they got Pookie. He has the best name in the league. I just want to say that.
All right, so from Pookie, now we move on to the West Slaughter from Man City in match day 1. They basically picked up where they left off, and who's going to stop them this year?
I'm looking at Liverpool and City trying to one-up each other this year. Someone's going to score 4, the other's going to score 5. Someone's going to say, oh, we got 5 assists. Oh, we're going to get 6 assists. They're just going to go at it. But thank you, VAR, for coming in this year.
Right. I can't be mad at VAR right now. If they're going to keep doing that to City, I'll take it every day.
Liverpool can't be mad at VAR.
Yeah, them too. But City, I mean, City is basically what we think that City is going to be, a well-oiled pep machine. They're going to pass the hell out of the ball, keep the ball. They're going to attack, win that thing back. The only thing, I mean, it definitely looks like it's going to be Liverpool and Man City again. To be fair, I just think it's which one of those two teams are going to run out of gas, because they've both been playing a lot of football. So can they keep up their intensity the whole season? I don't know.
I think City has more on the bench than Liverpool does. Liverpool didn't go out and sign anyone else.
City's whole team
and
is quality, man.
City still has a second team that can beat up anyone
anybody
below the top 4. So you're looking at, what can you do against them, really?
Yeah, with the B team, it's like who's gonna stop them? But then again, like when you look at that score 5-0, what happened to West Ham?
They're West Ham.
They're West Ham, and they have no one up top. That's all I can think of. They need a shooter. They need a clinical finisher or something.
Yeah, they just don't have enough quality in too many places on the pitch.
Yeah, and
so they might struggle, I think. And their fans will turn on them quick once that happens. So I don't know. But yeah, as far as City goes, man, they look like City has the last 2 or 3 years. Look like they're gonna be definitely at the top of the table for sure.
Who's the last team that three-peated? Or has there been a team that three-peated the Premier League? Oh yeah, United, huh?
United, though, it seems like a long time ago, but we're on the way back. We'll be back. We'll be back. But yeah, I mean, Sir Alex, I believe United three-peated on 2 separate occasions, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, we did have the greatest manager of all time. We won't get into that either. But yeah. So. But yeah, City looks strong, man. They look strong. It looks like early on, it looks kind of like it might be a 2-horse race. Can Arsenal keep up what they're doing? Can United look like United again? What is Spurs gonna do? So
yeah, it's pretty random at the moment. But yeah, it was a pretty good opener for matchday 1. You had Liverpool beating the brakes off of Norwich and Man City slaughtering early in the morning the next way. Well, early in the morning for us.
All right.
5-0 against West Ham. So it's just kind of like you saw those 2 games and you're like, oh, here we go again. It's deja vu all over again, probably to the last match day of the season. And then we had a couple games in between that big game. Well, not big game, but slaughter. Yeah, Crystal Palace, Everton. That was a 0-0 draw. Burnley FC, they took away 3 points, beating Southampton 3-0. Watford loses 3-0 to Brighton, which is the surprise. We kind of spoke about this before. Having a quick little laugh. Bournemouth won, Sheffield United won, so they got a nice surprising point in their debut of the season. And then now we go to Tottenham and Aston Villa, which ended 3-1 for Tottenham. Aston Villa, I'm going to start, I guess. They kind of were surprising at first. I thought they were going to pull the 3 points. But then again, Tottenham pulls out something out of the hat, and Kane does his job, and so does the rest of the team. And
I think that was all Eriksen. Eriksen was in the starting lineup.
Well, yeah.
The second you put Eriksen into the lineup, Tottenham just rolled like a well-oiled machine. And I don't know if it's just a ploy because he wants to leave or what's going on. Pochettino, he's always in the lineup, so you sell him, you get some money from him.
Yeah, you're right. It kind of looked like an audition for somebody that's willing out there to pay the money for him to make that nice little transfer over.
Some team out there in Spain.
Wink, wink.
Possibly, but we'll see. We still got till September to figure that one out. So what do you think, Justin? How did it all go?
I mean, what does Lucas Moura have to do to start consistently for Tottenham? I mean, what does he do? 3 goals to get them to the final, gets benched for the final. Doesn't start this game, comes off the bench, first touch, goal. Come on, man. Give the brother let him start. Like, I mean, Spurs, I think the Ndombele signing was huge for that midfield. I think they're strong, man. I think Pochettino's a good coach. What worries me about Spurs is that they'll lose a game where you'll be like, hey, man, they're going to win this game 2-3-0, and then they'll lose to somebody like Watford or you know what I mean? They'll do some Spurs type of stuff at some point in the season. So depending on what they're doing past Christmas, I'll be able to take them, a little bit more seriously. I mean, Aston Villa just got back in the league. You know what I'm saying? They were hype, based off their promotion, they're hype, running off of that adrenaline. But I mean, you think about Spurs. I mean, Pochettino is just in a UCL final. So They've got big aspirations. I thought it was a good game once they were able to equalize. I thought they would kind of just got into their set and just start playing and just took it to them. Just better quality, man. Quality just sticks out. And Aston Villa is at the moment Aston Villa. So
also with the momentum of playing that game in the new stadium, I think it was
yes, that too.
Well,
that too. The stadium looks amazing.
Who's Aston Villa's player who has 20 Premier League losses in a row now? What's his name? Jack. I'm forgetting his name, but I just saw it on Twitter, and he's the one player that's taken just 20 consecutive losses. How can you take 20 consecutive damn losses in a row?
Must be a tough life.
Shouldn't you like bench at this point or something? Aren't you like?
Yeah. He definitely doesn't go out on the week when they have free time. He definitely doesn't go out. I'm sure of that.
All right, so that was a good game. 3-1. Tottenham pulls it out. And then after that, we had to begin Sunday, we had Leicester and Wolves, which was a great game. We probably have a little bit more on that game later when we speak about the VAR handball situation, because that kind of came into play into that game. I believe it was the first time we heard about it in the Premier League so far.
Yeah.
And then after that, we had Arsenal and Newcastle. Arsenal pulls a 1-0 win versus Newcastle, which I believe Newcastle might be the punching bag for the Premier League this season. And then we get to the biggest game. From what I thought, the whole weekend, everybody would have probably thought the same thing. You have Man U, Pogba stays. Chelsea, Lampard first game managing. There was a lot of I guess things you could talk about in that game, and overall, Man U just completely took it over and won 4-0. So my take on it, Chelsea could have ran away with it in the beginning. They had a good amount of possession, hit the post a couple of times. Very unlucky. Abraham had a good first half. I think he kind of started falling off a bit, but I don't foresee him starting any more games in the future. I would probably go with Giroud, but like I said, it was just bad luck. They didn't get it. And then Man U just took advantage with that high press, making Chelsea make those mistakes in the middle of the field is what really cost Chelsea all those bad errant passes, and Man U just looked fast and furious going on the counterattack. So I thought it was a great game. Sucks for Lampard. I think it's going to be a rough season for him. Tough start, but I think he'll kind of find his groove going into the break that I think the Premier League finally gets this season. And then in the second half, he'll turn it over and kind of keep them above water. But I don't see anything near top 6, probably top 10.
I think Chelsea needs a striker. Without a striker, they're not getting anywhere. I mean, you have Giroud, but how old is Giroud now? Can he really keep it up all season?
He doesn't offer enough.
Just starting. Mm-hmm. So for me, that's where they have to address it. I don't mind the kids coming up, start them during the second half, do whatever you need, but they're showing they have skills. Without a striker, though, I'm sorry, they're staying under top 6. No way they're going up top 6.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Pulisic has to start, and I'm not trying to be biased because I'm American or anything, but Pulisic
you're right.
does bring a lot to the table, and then you have to have Willian on the other side. It's just when you have those two on the wings, I feel like you're going to cause some trouble. And Giroud, I say Giroud because Giroud has a good hold-up game. He could hold the ball, make the passes back into the midfield, and then you open up the game, send it down the wings to those two terrorizing, wingers, and then he goes right back into the box, or he could be very efficient. He's a very good header of the ball, knows how to attack space. It's just, Abraham is more of your speed. He's kind of Abraham could be like a poor man's Martial, I guess you could say.
You want to bring up the boy? Oh God! Listen.
It's just somebody that I could say I compare him to, like
I guess
not there yet, but he can be. But the thing is, he doesn't have that experience. So I'd rather take Giroud with experience and play those two on the wings, and maybe Lampard will figure that out down the stretch. But
I think we saw it during the Super Cup, Pulisic to Giroud, those passes that they were doing. That was just beautiful to me. If they can keep that up and find their rhythm, I see them getting top 6. But without a constant starting lineup, they're not going to get that top 6.
No, I don't see it. I mean, I think from what I've seen, Pulisic probably should have started against Man United, but I'm definitely proud of him because it doesn't look like it's too big for him. He can definitely play, and he looks like he belongs there. As far as the Giroud thing, I mean, he just doesn't offer enough for me, man. Like he goes missing too much. You know what I mean? For you to count on him. I mean, Chelsea, that first 15 minutes, we could have been down 3-0 easily. Chelsea were all over us. Man United looked nervous. They looked, you know what I mean? They didn't know if, it took them a while to get going. But once they did get going, you can really see what Solskjaer is trying to do. Like the pressing game, the quick passing, the counter attack, always running. Don't stop running. I love to see it. And you could tell, I mean, again, we were really sloppy. Honestly, we could have been down 3-0, like easily. It was crazy. But seeing Martial up top again, Tony Martial came for fresh. Seeing him up top with that number 9, man, it's what we need. We need him out there. We need him and Rashford. I love the partnership that Ollie's trying to build between those two. I mean, these are our young guns. This is what we have. So those two dudes, they've got to produce. Him and Rashford, Martial and Rashford have to be at least 25 plus each for us to have any type of opportunity because, as you can see in the midfield, we're weak. You can see that's where we got overrun early on with the midfield. We're playing McTominay and Pogba, who had good games, but still, it's a lot of work. They were getting overrun early on. But let's talk about that ball from Pogba to Rashford on that third goal. Oh, the sauce. I mean, if he stays, which I think he's going to stay, I mean, he'll be integral to if we have any chance at anything, he's got to be there and he's got to be playing good. Harry Maguire out there. Hey, Mario kind of gave me crap about giving Maguire. Is he worth the money? No, he's not worth the money, but he's better than anything that we had on that pitch. And he showed it. He monstered that game. He controlled it. Nothing was too much for him. And I guess I'll just close out by saying Phil Jones and Chris Smalling not even in the team selection. That's what we want to see right there.
I mean, if Harry Maguire can stay healthy, and we saw the impact that he had that game, plus today,
right?
Then I can see the case for a top 6 finish. I mean, he's just gonna ball out and be a beast for that back line. Wan-Bissaka, truly.
Oh my God! I didn't even say anything about him, Spider.
Now let's talk about Pogba missing that penalty, though.
Okay, but see, you're already talking about today. I'm still on Chelsea 4-0.
Yeah, exactly. Back to the Chelsea game because we could talk about Pogba. We'll talk about Pogba today, but yes, that Chelsea game, he did have a great game. He made some assists. I did feel, though, he was a bit sloppy and made a lot of errant passes, something that he doesn't necessarily do a lot. I feel like he forced the ball a good amount of times, and that's where the game was kind of like back and forth because Chelsea was messing up a lot in the midfield, and then they get the ball, and then everything wants to go through Pogba, or at least Pogba wanted everything to go through him, which you could tell. And then sometimes he just made like this pass where you're like, why did you even think about that? Like, I saw it too, but like it kind of closed fast on you, and it kind of messed up the counterattack that you kind of had in mind. Harry Maguire had a great game. Yes, Man U soaked a lot of pressure. I feel like overall the possession could have been called 50-50, but with a little slight edge to Chelsea. Especially when they were down already 4-0, that's when they kind of started putting more and more, and they just kind of wanted that consolation goal, I presume. And then, like you said, the first 15 minutes, you could have been down 3-0, and that's exactly where I feel like they had a lot more possession as well. You're right with the high pressure that Solskjaer wants to do, and then so that's where I believe they lose some of that possession because you want to attack and attack and attack. So you're okay with kind of not having the ball because you're trying to score, and you guys did pretty well. You guys got 4, took Chelsea straight completely out of the game. Lampard had no idea what to do, and it was just downhill from there. And he tried little things here and there, and it kind of just felt like they were doing the same thing tactically. Nothing changed, just the players that he subbed. And Man U just looked like they could go somewhere.
Do you think Frank lasts until Christmas?
Yeah, I think he lasted the whole season. I don't see any issue with.
Oh yeah, they did have the transfer ban, so maybe that kind of factors in.
Yeah, and that goes back to the whole Giroud Abraham discussion, because you can't do anything. You can pull up another academy player, I guess, but it's still not a big name, so it's gonna hurt him for a little bit. Ross Barkley, I feel like, had a low key very good first half, and then I don't know what happened from there.
He turned into Ross Barkley.
That's for sure. So I guess that was match day 1, and we can proceed on to 2. And I guess the game that started off was Arsenal and Burnley. Arsenal slides by with another 2-1 win. I'm going to be totally honest. I'm not going to have much to say. No, I'm not going to have much to say about match day 2. I had a quite busy weekend. I did see some highlights, but highlights only tell you so much, and I don't have a lot of context.
Take it away.
I will say this: this is the first week, or I get the lineup, whatever. This week we see the lineup that Arsenal should have. Do I think Pepe should have started? Yeah, I think Pepe should have started, because I want to see those front three of Aubameyang, Pepe, and Lacazette just rolling through, scoring goals left and right, left and right, left and right. I have more faith now seeing David Luiz in the back. My preference would be 3 in the back. David Luiz. Who do we get from Scotland? Shoot, I'm forgetting on his name.
Tierney or
Tierney.
Tierney.
And then one more on right. I think a back 3 would be great. You go 3-4-4. To me, that would be the perfect lineup. Again, it's still early in the season.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting much, but the fact that we're in second right now, that's all I care right now.
Has Unai Emery ran a 3 back before? I don't remember
he's never run a 3 back.
Running a 3 back.
He's never had, and that's where he could do it, but I don't think he will. So we will see that 4-4-3 lineup. But we saw that with Chelsea, with David Luiz, and oh my Jesus Christ! I mean, the best. He was his best when they were at a back 3 at Chelsea, and that's when they won the Premier League the last time around.
That's true.
But that was with Jose Mourinho. Now I don't want to say bring back Jose because, well, it's Jose. Who wants Jose Mourinho anyway? But early in the season, I just hope that this is the lineup we see with Ceballos starting over Ozil. As much as anyone would say, hey, Ozil is a great player, he has won a World Cup. I just don't think Ozil has it in him anymore.
Well, I'm not gonna say anything negative about Ceballos starting. I like the idea. I love it. Should I say? Madrid man on loan, and it's good to see him get a couple of minutes and actually prove himself for next year. But it's also good to see him do some good for Arsenal.
Yeah, I think like if Arsenal has any success, it's probably going to be because Ceballos is playing good in midfield.
Yeah, that's
he looks the part.
He will be the reason why they make it into top 4, and we'll get into our top 4 later on. But to me, he has to keep starting consistently over and over and over. Ozil, thank you so much for what you did. Hey, DC United's calling, bro. I mean, MLS needs another star. Wayne Rooney's going back.
Can I ask a legitimate question, please, Sal? I need to know. What is the general consensus for Arsenal fans over Ozil? Like, what do y'all think about him right now? Like, do they want him there? Do they not want him there? Like, what's the deal? Dude is stealing a living.
I know a couple people who want him. They want him just because World Cup winner, that nice back pass, that backheel pass that he can do, all that nice. But honestly, just get the fuck out, bro. I'm sorry. Get the fuck out, bro. You had your chance. We're starting a new era. I mean, hey man, DC's calling. MLS needs new stars.
All right.
I'm all for it. I love MLS too.
I think he's washed up personally. I think he's just washed.
He messed up. He messed up his chances though. He had plenty of chances, and when he took that contract, that probably was a nail in the coffin for him.
I don't think he was ever the same after that. He signed that big deal. He's never been the same player.
That money, I think, just destroyed him.
Mm-hmm. I agree completely.
All right, so Arsenal gets the 2-1 win. We're gonna speed things up just a little bit. We'll talk probably about we'll stop at the Man City Tottenham and the Wolves Man United, and we'll kind of breeze through the scores for the rest of the league or match day 2. Liverpool gets the 2-1 win versus Southampton. Brighton 1-1 versus West Ham. Everton 1-0 versus Watford. Norwich gets the 3 points this week versus Newcastle.
Hat-trick.
It was the punching bag, and they're kind of proving me right here. Bournemouth gets a 2-1 win versus Aston Villa. Another loss for Villa there. And then we stop here. Man City Tottenham 2-2. Wild finish at the end. From what I saw the highlights, because I did not see the game live. What do you guys got to say about that?
You want to start, Sal? I got a lot to say. So,
oh man, I mean, this has to be in the VAR discussion because I have too much to say about VAR.
Okay, so should we just
wait? Well, as far as the game, people don't want to hear about the game.
The game, I really thought it was going to be what it was. Seeing how the past games have been, especially going back to last season, I thought, hey, it's either going to end up a draw or someone's going to lose by 1 point. Did I expect to finish that it happened? No, I didn't. I mean, somewhere, Pochettino's response at the press conference at the end was great. He's like, I love VAR. I mean, who doesn't VAR right now? If you're a City fan, well, sorry for you.
City is not like, listen, me personally, I have no problem with what VAR's doing to City right now, to be fair. But if I'm being objective, they've had a tough break for the first two games having to deal with it. But like big decisions. It's not like, they had to check VAR. These are like game-changing decisions that, like, I think they had the Sterling goal was taken away in the first game, and then this goal, a game-winning goal, taken away. City was City. Again, started out fast, had the ball, passed 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, cutting Tottenham up. And it looked like when City scored that first goal, it looked like they may have been able to run away with it. But Tottenham, they stuck in. And what they do, I think Tottenham really takes their chances really well. And against City, when you get an opportunity, you've got to take it because they're going to have the ball most of the time. You know what I mean? They're going to pass it around you in circles. When you get a chance, you got to hit that goal. And that's what they did. Again, Lucas Moura off the bench, who I think should be starting week in and week out. I don't know what else he has to prove. Put that man in there, comes off the bench, equalize. I mean,
I'm kind of liking the idea of Moura starting off the bench because you have that weapon on your bench.
Which is true. I get that point, but
so you have, like you said, that equalizer there, or at least that one goal that's going to kick you off, and then you have Kane or Son who are going to pop in somewhere, score, or you have Llorente who's in the back, right? Llorente's in the midfield.
Is he still there?
Is he?
Llorente? No,
I think he's there.
Yeah. But I mean, dude, you have enough there for firepower. Bring him off the bench, really, unless someone's hurt.
Well, I'm looking here. I don't know if this is how the game finished, but the lineup was 4-2-3-1 with Eriksson and Sissoko on the wings. Well, I guess on the outs of the three in the midfield there, and then Lamela in the middle. We got him that goal with a beautiful goal and a beautiful pass by Ndombele from what I saw in the highlight. And then
Ndombele.
And what?
No, I was just saying Ndombele is a game changer so far.
Oh yeah, he's gonna bring a lot for them this season. But I guess Sissoko works there, but I think I'd rather see Lucas Moura play in that position. He's giving Pochettino a headache, which is always good. You always want to give a headache to your manager. basically telling him that, hey, man, like you put me in and this is what I do. And if you put me in from the beginning, I could do that at the start of the game instead of trying, to play catch up all the time. And I don't know. Personally, I would like to see Lucas Morris stay. It was a great decision for them to sign him, I believe, in the middle of last season.
We should have got him.
And then, so why not play him? And he's proven time and time and again, like Jessica said, like it's just a lot of evidence that backs him up, and it just doesn't make any sense. But Pochettino has his reasons. I'm not gonna argue that.
Yeah.
Being biased as I am, I rather more. But we proceed, and we'll talk about the whole VAR thing in the upcoming later in the pod. So here we go. We got Sheffield sneaks a win against Crystal Palace, which kind of surprises me. Really short. What is Zaha doing?
Zaha wants out. That's
He wants out.
what it is.
He's also overrated though too. To be fair,
You think he's overrated? Oh,
in my opinion, I think he's overrated.
Oh man, that's the first time I've ever heard that. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see somebody has that feeling for. It's probably because he didn't work out for you guys, but that's.
I mean, he's gotten a lot better since he left United. I just think he's overrated. What are you gonna pay over 80 million for Zaha?
Personally, no, I don't think.
No one.
And then so Sheffield gets the 3 points, and I guess their total is 4 for the season, which is a good start for them.
They look good actually.
They look good, yeah. They look really good.
They look really good. I liked how they came back in the game in the match they won. It was pretty nice comeback. Chelsea gets a point this week against Leicester City, and this afternoon we witnessed the Wolves come back and tie it against Man United for a 1-1 draw. Which was a beautiful goal by.
Nothing you can do about Ruben Neves, man. God, good Lord,
scoring those types of goals, though, man.
Yo, in the words of my Latin community, que golazo, bro. Golly. Whew.
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
De Gea did everything he could.
Yeah, he did everything. I can't say anything. He literally tried. He tried his best, but that's one of those instances where it's like, I like the way Man U played, but that goal, like that's it. You just give it. It is what it is. You can't beat that, bro. That is what it is. I'll take that point. We didn't get that point last year. It's a point that you know what I mean? So
and the commentators made sure to hit that nail about 1,000 times with the hammer. They're like, oh well, last season.
Yeah.
Man U wasn't winning away, so
yeah. I'm just a lot happier with the performances, man. We just look like we're ready to play some actual football rather than just sitting around like idiots.
Yeah, it was a great game. I like the fact that Daniel James started. He did really good. I kind of missed the part where he got subbed.
Yeah, he got subbed late.
Yeah, I believe because he was just gone at one point. I was like, wow. I was like, yeah, so good, but yeah, and Man U just, I feel like they could have got the win. Well, either team actually could have got the win. It was a very good game.
Yeah, could have won either way.
Just put the attack on in the second half and just kind of took over the game there a little bit. So far we're looking at the PL table. We have Liverpool in first, Arsenal in second, Man City in third, Man United in fourth, Brighton in fifth, and good old Tottenham Spurs in sixth. And that rounds out your top 6 right there. So that's a very interesting top 6.
Yup.
And that will lead us into our predictions for this upcoming season, which I'm excited to talk about. We're kind of late. We've already gone through 2 match days. We kind of get a cheat sheet in a way.
Yeah, sort of.
See what this is like, but who cares? We do it our way. This is the FieldTalk way. Let's get going. Do we want to do top 6 and then the relegation?
Yeah, let's go that
top
way.
Top 6 and relegation. I like that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to start. Let's see how close we are. I'm going to say my top 6 are Man City, Liverpool, number 2, 3 Man United, 4 Arsenal, 5 Tottenham, And surprise, surprise, number 6, Wolverhampton.
Okay.
That's an astute observation. Astute.
What do you got, Just?
I'm going top 2. Well, actually, no, top 3 is the same. Man City, Liverpool, Man United. I don't know. I just really feel like maybe Ali can hit some magic here, get us back where we need to be. Sounds like I like this one. I've got Spurs at 4, Arsenal at 5. Arsenal missing top 4, and then I've got Everton at 6.
Okay.
Everton at 6.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here's where I'm different. I have Liverpool winning the league.
Oh,
I got City second, Arsenal, Spurs, United, and in 6, Everton. So I'm with Justin on Everton.
So we got he has United finishing 5. I have Arsenal finishing 5. Yeah, that's gonna be fun to revisit throughout the season.
But depending on how the winner goes, looking at these 2 games, do I think United can finish above Spurs? Ooh, that's a tough one right there.
We'll have to see. We need more games before we can even really talk about it.
Well, based on goal differential, United has it so far. So
yeah,
so far.
Early, I'll take it.
So yeah, and then relegation, I have let's see, 18. I'm gonna go with Newcastle, 19, Southampton, and number 20 was the surprise that we have at number 5 so far, which is Brighton Hove. So right now they're kind of kicking me in the nuts and like, we're
right. Same. For me, I'm gonna start at the bottom. Southampton's done. I just feel like that this is their time to just get out. They are done. So I have Southampton at 20. I've got Brighton at 19, which kind of feels terrible now. And then I've got Sheffield United as the other team, even though I feel bad because they're playing good. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do they look like? But that's what my prediction is. I think they might run out of steam at some point. So I've got Southampton, Brighton, and Sheffield United getting relegated.
All right. I'll go 18. I have Newcastle. 19, I have Brighton. So it's they're kicking all 3 of our asses at this point. And last place is Southampton because God damn.
Yeah, dude, go. Gone, man.
Just go already.
Bye,
let Leeds come up. Let someone else be a punching bag. Damn it.
It's not looking good for either of us with the whole Brian situation. But so far we have
it's early.
So far we both have Newcastle, except you, Justin.
No, I don't have Newcastle getting relegated. Even though it looks like they're gonna have a tough time, I think they'll do just enough. They'll probably sack a manager mid-season, get somebody that'll keep them up. I think they'll stay in.
You think?
Yeah, I think they'll stay in.
You think they have that Sunderland grit where they were just clawing, and then they finally dunked in?
They have the history to back them, but I mean, honestly, I feel like they're probably going to get relegated, to be fair, but I had 3 other teams that I thought were getting relegated.
Well, I'm giving you a break. I'll let you sneak them in right now. Nobody knows about it.
No.
Going. Steve Bruce can't keep them going. It's just who was their manager last?
Who, for Newcastle?
Yeah, for Newcastle.
Rafa Benitez.
Rafa Benitez.
Yeah, Rafa kept them going. Without Rafa, and that's it. I mean, Steve Bruce. Sorry, bro, you're gone by winter.
and they lost players as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They lost Rondon, Ayoze Perez.
Ayoze Perez, which is a big deal right there. He was what made the click. So yeah, that's gonna be a tough loss for them. The real tough loss was Rafa Benitez. As much as I want to make fun of him, he didn't have such a time in Real Madrid, but he does have that history with Liverpool, so that you can't really take away from the guy. He just knew how to work things in the Premier League, and he showed it by keeping Newcastle up. The thing is, he just didn't have the players that he once had at Liverpool, like back in the day. So that was the difference.
I think you also have to blame the management wasn't really backing him up by saying, here's money, go buy more players. I could have seen it if he would have stayed and they would have at least given him a couple more million to work with. Hey, you can at least fight for top 6. But at this point, who wants to stay when your owners are like, oh, well, we got to be cheap and just stay with what we have and just sell all of our good players? Well, all right, then I'm going to China too, where I get paid big money.
That's everybody's dream right now.
Right. Unless you're Bale.
Yeah. Well, it's more Real Madrid's fault. They didn't want to just give the guy for free after he paid so much.
That's true.
So then we proceed to Player of the Year, Golden Boot, and who we think could possibly flop this season.
Ooh, flop.
The flop. So I'm going to go with Player of the Year. I'm going to go with the boy Rashford. I feel like he could have a great season. So far, so good. I feel like I was talking with Jess earlier. He should have probably taken that penalty kick. Got his, probably bagged another goal for him. Golden Boot, I'm going to go with Kane. I know he hasn't started off that good, but he did have a little good first game of the season. I feel like he'll turn it up throughout the rest and do what Kane does. The flop, I'm kind of looking a little bit dumb on this one because I thought Pepe was going to be a flop.
Man.
He
looks crispy.
He looks really good. I'm not going to lie. I saw a couple things on the Twitter, and I was like, well, kind of eating my own words here, but I'm going to stick with it. It's what I predicted. I wanted to pretend I didn't see any games, so that's how I'm going to do it. And I'll just kind of cry to myself later after the season unfolds. So what do you got, Sal?
I have Sterling as Player of the Year.
Okay.
I think with his run from last year, we'll keep going this year. And really, I think Pep has him playing his best football he's ever played in his life. And if he takes that up one more level, Player of the Year for him. Golden Boot, I have Kane as well. Who can really go against Harry Kane? I mean, yeah, he starts off slow. But really, I mean, how far back was he last year from the Golden Boot? I think it was like 2 or 3 goals from.
Yeah, he was right there. He was
right there. He was right there with Aubameyang and the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For flop, I have Salah. I just don't see him keeping up that form, and plus, that man has more strikes on goals than he has goals. So I'm like, dude, keep kicking the ball more and more. Come on, bro. Just keep going and going. As long as they don't go in, I don't give a damn. Just flop, bro. Just flop. But I do have Liverpool winning the season. But, I'm banking that on Mane. Keep going and going and going and going. Keep going, Mane. Keep going.
Yeah, it could be like the little trade-off. You had Salah the first couple of seasons doing what he does, kind of like ran away with it one season where he had like a crazy amount of goals. And then now Mane is like, hey, guys, sit down. This is my turn. It could be something of the sort like that. So, Jess, what do you got?
Okay. For me, for Golden Boot, I actually have Raheem Sterling. For Golden Boot, he started out on fire. Pep has that kid playing some of the best football he's probably ever played. He just looks like he's just a threat to score at any time. As far as Player of the Year, I went with the home team. If Pogba stays, I think Pogba can put in enough shift this season. I think if in my opinion, I think he's off to Madrid next season. So if he kind of wants to make sure everything's good, he puts in another good season. He ensures that move. We'll just have to take that when it comes. But for Player of the Year, I think Paul Pogba could do enough to get it. Sterling for Golden Boot. And then my flop, which is funny because I had 2 guys that I was kind of fighting with, and you guys both have them on your list. I'm going to go with Kane. I think Harry Kane's going to flop this season. I was gonna go Salah, but I think Kane might have a down year by his standards.
And then by standards, you mean what is flop? He doesn't score more than 10 goals?
Yeah, he doesn't score 20 goals because he's Harry Kane, right? Yeah. So if he doesn't reach 20 this season, that's what I think.
He doesn't reach 20
flop. It's a flop. Yeah, he's Harry Kane, right? He's the golden boy of England, right? Harry Kane, 30 goals a season. That's what I want to see. Nah, 30 goals a season.
So we're talking about Premier League goals then.
I need him to have. If he doesn't score 20 Premier League goals, it's a flop for Harry Kane.
All right.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I could see it. I mean, if those Tottenham rely on his goals as well.
That's
so
true.
if he's not scoring goals, then that means they're down to 4th or 5th place. At that point, you're like, what do you do now? Well, you got to start Mora at that point and just let Harry just sit on the bench.
And Son, Heung-min Son.
Heung-min Son.
He's done it before. He scored a good amount of goals a couple seasons ago, so maybe he could bring that form back. Well, he always plays good, I think. I don't think that guy ever loses form. All right, so we did that. We'll see how we look as the season progresses. Every episode, we'll keep a note on that. And then hopefully Brian starts going down the drain.
Let's go, Brian. Let's go.
I probably shouldn't wait for a team to do bad. That's kind of
right.
I mean, we're looking back at last season where they were just horrible as hell, too. Come on, guys. Start losing some matches.
And then so we got that, and we figured out who we all think player of the year and all that is. And so we're just going to end it on a quick note and go with the whole VAR and handball situation that has been introduced to the Premier League. What is your take on it, Justin? Because you said earlier you had quite a bit to say.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about ending it on a quick note. There's no way to end it with VAR. Man, honestly, I don't know where to begin. It's a conflicting thing because a part of me is like, yes, get it right. You know what I mean? I don't want to wake up the next day when I know that my team scored a goal and they didn't get it right because they missed something. But then the other part of me is like, yo, this is taking way too long. You're sucking all the enjoyment out of the game. So I'm really conflicted. One thing for sure, even being conflicted, I know this for a fact. It's entirely too slow. It's way too slow. It's way too slow. They've got to do something to get these replays in and get decisions in. It's taking entirely too long. And I feel like football or soccer, to some of you, is one of those sports where momentum is key. Like it plays a part more than other sports. And by taking that time away from a game like that, you just affect it. And I just don't like how long it takes to get things in. I mean, it's making the right calls, but it's hard. It just doesn't sit well a little bit. Part of me, yes, part of me, no. But as long as it keeps doing what it's doing in the city, I'm all for
it. See, I don't mind the time. I don't mind that they're taking as much time. I mean, I saw it last year with MLS coming through. I still have my problems with VAR and MLS. That's a whole different take on VAR at that point. But to those who are saying, well, oh, he's off by a nose, he's off by a toe, he's off by an armpit. I don't care. It's the right fucking call. At the end of the day, if your team, doesn't matter who they are, they lose by 1 point, or they get relegated by a point, or in Liverpool and City's case last year, what if that offside or whatever VAR rules is the difference between that 1 point and the championship? Then for all purposes, keep it going. I don't give a damn. I love how they show us how they're looking at it on TV. That we can see that, okay,
yes, I agree with that a lot.
Here's the screen. Here's what the refs are watching. Great. I don't have to be like MLS where I'm like, is this motherfucker watching Game of Thrones or what right now? I'm at a Galaxy game and I'm looking down and the VAR screen is right there in front of me. The ref is going up to it and he's looking at it like he's watching some like amazing video. And I'm like, you're not fucking watching shit, are you, bro? You're fucking getting the wrong call right now. I'm glad it's doing what it's doing. The handball rule, I'm totally for it. If it touches the hand and by accident it does lead to a goal, roll it off. I don't care. City fans right now, I'm with Justin. I don't give a damn what City fans are saying. I think that's mostly all Premier League fans.
City.
And what City's doing. I mean, and let's say VAR was in last year. Would City have won the championship at that point? Would they have won the Premier League?
Liverpool had so many offside goals last season, man. It would have been It would have probably ended the same way, but probably a difference as far as points go, I think.
Point-wise, yes.
Or would it have been Spurs who somehow miraculously would have won the Premier League because of that? And that's so I'm all for it. All these pundits, Twitter people, whoever is saying it's screwing up our game. No, it's not, because at the end of the day, we saw it with the Leicester game where Leicester was all cheering because, hey, we fucking goal was offside. Yeah, let's go. So keep it going.
Yeah, because you got like a couple stadiums around England that you can actually see what they're looking at on the big screen. And now, there's a couple that aren't afforded that what is
Old Trafford and Anfield are the two stadiums in the Premier League that don't have screens.
There you go.
Let me say that again. Old Trafford and Anfield, the two biggest clubs in England, don't have a jumbo board for you to see the reviews.
Is that a problem? You think that's
it's 2019, man, not 1890. Come on. People want to see what's going on. If you're going to take that time, but if you're going to take the time to like waste, at least show me what you're seeing so my time doesn't feel wasted. Like, you know what I mean? I want to be engaged all the time. Like, show me it. I want to see. So then I can look at the guy next to me like, yeah, he's off. And he'll be like, no, he's on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
I like the aesthetic. I like the aesthetic of it. Like, you got your stadium, and it's like you've been that way for so many years. It's kind of like now you have to add this.
I mean, it's
like Boston. It's like the Red Sox Stadium. I mean, it's iconic. Those stadiums are iconic. You know, so all right, it's whatever's. But I mean,
the thing for me is VAR needs to be more. Is VAR going to be consistent in the calls that it makes? Like, we have these calls, match day 1 and 2, whatever they were VAR wise, and then if we see something of the similar down the stretch, and it's somewhat opposite or gets like a different decision or something, like what it's going to be basically like, what's the point of VAR? Like, why are we using it if one day it's this and the next day it's that? And then it also comes with the issue that you brought up, just like, yeah, it takes ages to figure out what's going on. We get to see it, but the guy's there like on the computer and he's like, oh, the line and then this and that. And it's just like, okay. Oh, look at that line. Oh, there's another line. What does that mean? Like, I don't know what's going on really. I just see the lines. It looks cool. I like it, but it's taking forever. I feel like that's just going to be an issue that we're going to have to deal with, because how do we speed that up?
I had a conversation on Twitter with someone about this, and they brought up the NFL, and the NFL has so many cameras in every stadium. Plus they have the cameras that are above the field. If you put the camera above the field, if you put that sky camera above the field and you follow where the offside should be, I think that would speed it up. But how many people would basically be saying, we can't be having all these cameras, it ruins the experience? Or would you rather ruin the experience or get the call right at the end of the day?
And that's what I'm thinking. Like, for me, even though, like I mentioned, how conflicted I was, if it's making the right call, then I'm with that. Because, like I said, I don't want to go home losing a Champions League final or FA Cup final knowing that there was a goal that the ref missed. You know what I'm saying? And VAR could have been like, hey, it's a goal. You know what I mean? Like, so if it's getting the calls right based off the rules, but there has to be some type of consistency, and they've got to kind of get a better idea of how they're going to translate all of that into something that works.
Yeah. Yep. It's for sure going to be very interesting to see how VAR plays out and what it makes the table end up looking like by the end of the season.
I'll add this to it. It also is the referees, because you could have those referees who just have no idea how to use VAR, and that's just going to screw it up. And that's all it's going to take for someone to say, look, the referees aren't trained. Get them trained again, more and more. So, again, there's that judgment call again. The purists are going to say, let it be how it was before because the refs aren't making the right call in VAR. So,
yeah, that's one problem. I feel like if VAR ends up being too problematic, let's go back to the old way. And then football Twitter can go crazy and be like, oh, this team wins because they're offsides all the time and this and that. I'd rather read those tweets and then instead of reading VAR and waiting for VAR and doing this for VAR. But we'll see how it goes. I think the Premier League is probably going to be the best with VAR. The Premier League has shown us time and time again they do a lot of training when it comes with the referees. Are they good? It's debatable. But they do spend a lot of money on training ref-wise. So I could see them doing a lot of training on ref VAR-wise. A lot of other leagues are just super problematic. Like you said, the MLS has an issue. I feel like La Liga has a very big issue. So, and La Liga tried it last season, and I feel like it was pretty much shambolic. It didn't work as good as we all thought it was going to. It was very iffy, very more like 30-70, and 30 being good and 70 being horrible. I feel like the Premier League will get under control. And like I said, I'm just interested to see how it unfolds because this is the biggest watched league in America. So it's going to make a lot of noise. It's going to bring a lot of fuss, a lot of articles, and it's going to be interesting. So far, it's been interesting.
Yeah, a lot of talking points.
And for both of you, it's a good thing that Man City's getting the crap. Yeah. So yeah, we'll continue. We could probably just do a whole podcast on VAR. We can take notes on, hey, like remember this game? The VAR was horrible, or it was pretty good. Like we could be both sides of the coin on VAR. Come later.
I could give you one whole episode on VAR and MLS. That one.
Do that.
Just watch one weekend of MLS, and you'll just say to yourself, "The hell that." I forgot what game it was. Clear and obvious. One player got stepped on hard, right on the shin. Referee was right in front of their face. Didn't call a red card and went up to VAR. Oh, everything's fine. All right, let's keep playing.
Oh my god.
What the fuck are you doing, ref? What the fuck are you guys doing in the VAR? All right, let's just keep playing. Fuck you.
Yeah. Well, when you have problems like that, it's just, you gotta do something about it. So yeah, but in the future we could definitely talk about VAR, and then we'll just go from there. So, any last words? Any prediction? Or do you want to do what we think is going to happen this weekend before we sign off?
Ooh, who's game?
We could do Liverpool Arsenal. What we think about that?
Okay,
right?
Let's see what big games we have this weekend. That seems like the biggest game because
I think it is.
Everybody else is kind of playing like mid-table teams. So,
yep, that's true.
I'm gonna go 2-2.
2-2?
Yep, 2-2 draw.
Yeah, I'm with Justin on that one. 2-2 draw.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Arsenal.
Whoa! I'm not mad at that prediction. I don't care for any of those teams, but I'm not mad at that.
I just think that front line that Unai is building is going to bring it. The only thing that worries me is Arsenal defense.
Yep.
But sometimes you guys got to have a little bit of faith, and things can go your way. So,
it just depends on who he starts too. If he doesn't start that front three, then it's going to be downhill for Arsenal that game. But
yeah. And then also, I think a little side note, they probably should have grabbed Rudiger instead of David Luiz, but here and there.
Neither here nor there.
Yeah, doesn't change anything. All right, guys. Well,
this was FieldTalk 1, baby. Stay tuned. When this game started, we're gonna bring you all the flavor that we got. 3 different opinions.
If you want to see more and you were entertained and you want to discuss us or debate us or whatever the word is you want to use, follow down below, hit the subscribe button, and we'll be doing this every week. We're going to shoot for Tuesdays. So every Tuesday, and then once Champions League starts rolling around, we're going to start kicking out more shows. So we'll probably give out 2 during the week. And this was episode 1. I hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe you agreed, disagreed with what we say. If you watch this, leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought. Peace out.
Peace.